How's it going? This is Shane Thomas, ready to show you another country classic on the acoustic guitar. This time, this video, we are going to learn Remember When by Alan Jackson, a phenomenal, powerful song that's very easy to play on the acoustic guitar. And I think it's a really good time to show you, a really good song to show you, a really good video to show you what chord progressions are and how you can use different chord progressions to play in different keys. I think this song is a great example of that. So we're going to learn a bunch of chords in this song, only for the simple fact that the song changes keys a couple times. It plays in 3 keys throughout the song, but it plays the same chord progressions. So if you understand chord progressions, you're going to understand, it doesn't matter what key we play in because you could figure it out based on the chord progression. So I'll explain all that, but you're here to learn the song, I know, and what a song it is to know how to play and to sing if you sing or play along with. It was recorded and released in 2003. It was written by Alan Jackson, so he should be praised for writing such a phenomenal song about life, the trials and tribulations about life, the ups and downs, and just looking back on your life and what you and your loved ones have been through, and oh man, celebrated together. So it's just, if he wrote this song alone, this was his only hit. That would have been amazing. But as we know, he's got tons of other great songs and hits, and but this is certainly one of his best. And it resonates with people all around the world, no matter your background or where you're from or your religious beliefs, your skin color. We can all relate to this song, and that's what makes a wonderful song. That's why songs resonate so much with us, because it strikes a chord in us, and we can relate to it no matter who we are. We all know what it's like growing older and going through some tough times and sticking together and celebrating the good times. All those are themes of human nature. And Alan Jackson, when he wrote this song, definitely struck a chord and touches on a lot of those themes of what it means to be human. All right, so let's learn how to play it. Like I said, this song is a great example, or can be used as a great example to learn what's called chord progressions. And this is a very common chord progression that this song uses. It's referred to the 1, 6, 4, 5 chord progression, and it's been used in all kinds of songs, especially in the 50s. This chord progression was used all the time. Some even call it ice cream chord progressions, doo-wop chord progressions, because you had that thing. That's how I got the name. Or you play it in a different key. Same chord progression. That's called the 1, 6, 4, 5 chord progression. So you hear that in the 50s and early rock and roll or doo-wop music. Stand By Me. There's all kinds of songs that use that chord progression. Well, this song does too. The 1, 6, 4, 5 chord progression. It's just slowed down and it's kind of plucked more than strummed. And it's a country song, but the chord progression is the same. Now, the fact that we change chords, or change keys, I should say, twice, that means we're learning a lot of chords, but that doesn't mean we can't figure it out. And I think you'll find as we play this song and learn this song, it's pretty neat how you can take, as long as you know the chord progression, you can pretty much play in whatever key you want as long as you figure out what each of those numbers means, and I'll explain it to you. But having said that, when you learn this song, you don't have to switch keys. Okay, if you're playing by yourself, if you're singing, on your own, or your band, if you're in a band and your band decides to just keep it in G the whole time, that's fine. I just want to show you what chord progressions are and how this song uses those chord progressions to change keys. All right, so just a little tip or a thing to have in your toolbox, your guitar playing toolbox, your musical toolbox, your musical arsenal, so you can be a more competent musician and kind of know what's going on. So this song, of course, is going to be a song tutorial. That's why you're tuning into it. But hopefully it's a part music theory too, so you can use that if you want in the future. So the chord progression is 1, 6, 4, 5. And now that simply means you assign a letter to each of those numbers. And in terms of musical notes or musical chords, of course, our letters are A through G. We just go A through G. So this song is in the key of G. That's our 1. Just think of G as being number 1 chord. Okay? Let's learn how to play the G. G is 3rd string, or 3rd fret, 6th string, 5th fret. My goodness, I'm getting all confused. All these numbers in my head. All right, let's start over. G, check out the chord diagram if you need help. 3rd fret, 6th string, 5th string, 2nd fret. Play the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th string open and press down on the 1st string, 3rd fret. That's a G chord. That's our number 1 chord that we're going to use in our 1, 6, 4, 5 chord progression. Okay, so make sure you got that G, because that's kind of how it starts off. Now it goes to E minor. E minor. Let me show you how to play it, then I'll explain the music theory part of it. E minor, very simple chord to play. Play your top string, that E string, that low E string, open. Then you put either one finger on the 4th and 5th string, 2nd fret, or put a couple fingers on the 4th and 5th string, 2nd fret. Everything else is played open. Okay, so that's a very simple chord. Strum all the chords. All right, so let's recap so far. First part of this video is going to take a while, but once we learn this chord progression, the rest of the song is going to fly by, trust me. All right, so remember, G was our number 1 chord. We start out in G. Now, think about the musical alphabet and the different notes in music. So if G is our number 1 chord, we start counting. So, and remember, there's no other letters after G. There's no H chord, I chord, J chord, K chord. So we got to start at A again. So if G's number 1, A's number 2, B's number 3, C's number 4, D's number 5, and E is number 6. See how that works? So we just count from 1 to 6, and what letter we get, if we started with G, we end up with E. Okay, that's how we arrive on the E minor. Now when you see the chord progression, you'll see it's usually written in Roman numerals, and so if it's lowercase, that indicates that it's a minor chord. So our chord progression is 1, 6, 4, 5. And I'll show you, I'll have the numbers down on this video so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So that's our 2nd chord. All right, so let's start back at G. Remember, the chord progression is 1, 6, 4, 5. So G is 1, A is 2, C is 3, or excuse me, I skipped B, didn't I? G is 1, A is 2, B is 3, C is 4. I need to watch Sesame Street or something, get my alphabet down. You would have thought I had it down by now. So our 4 chord is C. That's our next one we're going to learn in our 1, 6, 4, 5 chord progression. So C, first finger goes on the 2nd string, 1st fret. Just picture this like a little staircase. Then you skip the 3rd string, put your middle finger on the 2nd fret, 4th string, and put your ring finger on the 5th string, 3rd fret. Just strum down, 5th string on down. That's our C major chord. Check out the chord diagrams. And that's our 4th, number 4, in our 1, 6, 4, 5 chord progression. We only got one more chord to learn in this chord progression, and then you're pretty much going to know how to play the first 3 verses. All right, so let's do some counting again. G is 1, A is 2, B is 3, C, which we just learned, is 4. Number 5, what comes after C, is D. That's our 5th chord, number 5 in our chord progression. Okay, so let's learn how to play the D chord. D is 1st string, 2nd fret. Put that middle finger there, then skip a string. Put the 1st finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. Then put your ring finger in between on the 2nd string, 3rd fret. Strum down with the 4th string. That's the D major chord, and that's number 5 in our chord progression. So there we got our chord progression. I know it took a while, but I'm telling you, the rest of the song, you're going to learn it very quick. Okay, when we do these key changes. And again, I think it's very neat to know if you see these Roman numerals and you match up chords to them, you could play hundreds of songs based on these chord progressions. All right, so let's recap. G is our 1st chord, E minor is our 2nd chord, C is our 3rd chord, and D is our 4th chord. So, and if we're talking chord progression, 1, 6, C is 4, D is 5. And you start picking G, E minor, C, D. This is the intro, basically the chord progression, C, of the first 3 verses. Remember when G, I was young, so were you, D. Time stood still, G, E minor, and love was all C. We knew you were the first, so was I, C, D. Remember when E minor, C, D. Verse 2, let's keep singing. Remember when G, vow the vows and walk the walk, D, gave our hearts, G, E minor. And it was hard, lived and learned, G, E minor. There was joy, there was hurt. Remember when G, E minor, C, D. One more verse in this key. Remember when G, E minor, old ones died, new were born, life was changed, G, E minor, C, rearranged, came together, but fell apart, we broke each other's hearts. Remember when G, C, See how easy that is? Now, when you play this song, a couple things. Well, the words, for one, just think of how many people can relate to just those 3 lyrics alone. But it's just the same thing over and over. Basically, I'm just going strumming down or picking down and picking back up. So down, 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 up, down, 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 down. Well, it's actually more kind of down, I guess. Now, some people will, now you can if you want. When you play the C, that C major chord, you can actually put your pinky on the 3rd fret 2nd string instead of the 1st string. Some people like to play it like that. See the difference or hear the difference? That's C. This is C add 9. So some people like the G, E minor, C add 9. That's me putting a pinky on the 3rd fret instead of the 1st fret on the 2nd string. D. It's up to you. But if you want to keep it simple, if you're just learning guitar, I would recommend stay with the C, D. All right, so think of this song like a football game. You got, or a basketball game, I should say, a college basketball game with 2 separate halves, right? So you got the first half is verse 1, 2, so intro, verse 1, 2, and 3. It's in the key of G. Chord progression again is 1, 6, 4, 5. So G, E minor, C, D. Okay, so that's half the song right there. The first 3 verses use the G, E minor, C, D. But then the song does something pretty clever. It changes keys as it goes into that steel guitar solo or pedal steel solo. It changes the chords or changes keys, which kind of changes the chords, but the chord progression is the same. So let's recap our chord progressions. Remember, when we were in the key of G, it was G was the first chord, E minor was the 6th chord, C was the 4th chord, D was the 5th chord. But in the solo, it changes to C. Let's see, do do do, do do do, do. So it changes keys, but the chord progression stays the same. So let's do some more counting. Sesame Street time. Let's start counting again. If now C becomes our first chord, all right, so now we want to count up from C to 6. So if C's 1, D's 2, E's 3, F's 4, G's 5, A's 6. And remember, in our first chord progression, we went from G to E minor. It's a minor chord. Same thing here. So if A is our 6th chord, we got to make it minor. So it's C is 1. We know how to play C. Now we're going to learn how to play A minor, because that's the 6th chord in this key, okay, in our chord progression. So real quick, A minor is first finger on the 2nd string, 1st fret. Then you press down on the 3rd and 4th strings on the 2nd fret. So hopefully I said that right. 1st fret, 2nd string with your 1st finger. Your middle finger and your ring finger goes on the 3rd and 4th string, 2nd fret, strum down with your 5th string on down. So we went from the 1st chord, C, to the 6th chord in the chord progression, A minor. Now we're going to learn another chord, F. F is pretty much 1st finger on all the strings of the 1st fret. Put your middle finger down there on the 3rd string of your 2nd fret, and press down on your pinky and your ring finger on the 4th and 5th strings of the 3rd fret. Strum all the strings. That is our 4th chord in the progression, because C, D, E, F is 4. And remember, the chord progression is 1, 6, 4, 5. So C, D, E, F, G is our 5th chord in this key, and this according to the chord progression. So the solo is basically dun, 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 C, A minor, dun, 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 F, G, dun, 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 C. The only time you're going to use these chords in this sequence, in this progression, is during the solo. C, A minor, F, G. Now they're going. All of a sudden, we're going to go again to another key. What are you trying to do to us, Alan? All these chords, all these key changes, but it works in this song. So let me recap. We are in the key of C, playing the 1, 6, 4, 5 chord progression. You just do a couple rotations of that. Then we got to figure out how to get from the key of C to our next key, which is the key of A. So the chord E is going to help us get there. So what you'll hear in the song, C to E sustained and then E. So that sounds fancy, but it isn't. So basically, just like we played the E minor, remember E minor is first string open, low string, I should say 6th string. E open, but you played the 4th and 5th string 2nd fret on the second fret pressed down there. Well, you just put another finger on the 3rd string. So E minor is playing the 3rd string open, E sustained is playing the 3rd string on the 2nd fret. And then let's make the E major chord. See how it kind of brightens it up, or we're going to a new chord progression, new sequence here. So E sustained is with the pinky on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. E major is just like you played the E minor, but this time we are going to put our 1st finger on the 1st fret of the 3rd string. Love that chord. That was my first chord I ever learned when I was a little guy. About 8 years old, I think, 9 years old. That's an E major. And check out the chord diagram. So here's what we got. We have to get from the solo in the key of C to our last 3 verses, which are in the key of A major. And the chord E is going to help us do that. So real quick, the solo was C, A minor, F, G, C. Then you get to E sustained. That's the one with the pinky on the 3rd fret, 3rd string, 2nd fret. Now thank you, E chord and E sustained chord, because now that was like our little bridge to get to the key of A. And one more chord progression, or a series of chords to learn in a new key, but the same chord progression. So we went from E sustained to E. Now we're in the key of A for the last 3 verses. So that's in the key of A. So let's count one more time, and then we'll have the next 3 verses like that. Same chord progression. Now A becomes our 1 chord because we're now in the key of A. We went from E sustained, that's the bridge, kind of the bridge, helping us get, and then the E major to A. Now let's count. A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, D is 4, E is 5, F is 6. All right, so that's our second chord. So let's learn the A chord first. A is very easy chord, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th string on the 2nd fret. strum down, 5th string on down, and play the 1st string open. Now I said F is our 6th chord, but in musical theory terms, it's actually, we're not playing the F major or F minor. We have to play an F sharp minor. Okay, and F sharp minor is, so just like our F that we learned, we just move it up 1 fret. So we start on the 2nd fret instead of the 1st fret. Put all your fingers there, and just like we played the F, so just picture this. This will make it real easy. I mean, you check the chord diagram too. But we just, like we played the F, remember that chord shape? Just move it up 1 fret. So your fingers are now on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th fret. But we got one more step to do, and that's to take the middle finger off. Because by doing that, that's an F sharp major. But if I take that middle finger off, that's a minor. Remember, our 6th chord in this song is always minors. So we have the E minor, the A minor. Now in the key of A, it's the F sharp minor. Okay, so let's count a couple more times. If A, we're looking for the 4th and 5th chord of this chord progression. So A's 1, B's 2, C's 3, D is 4. And then 5 is going to be E. Just like your letters of the alphabet. Somebody says, what's the 4th and 5th letter of the alphabet? You already know. D and E are the 4th and 5th letters of the alphabet. That's our chord progression in the key of A. So A, F sharp minor, D, E. Same chord progression. We just switched the keys up again. And there, like I said, this, when the night has come and the land is dawn. That's kind of the chord progression that classic song plays. But let's stick to Remember When. So remember, I was saying, think of this like a college basketball game. You got 2 halves. One half is played by the G team. The G team in the key of G chord progressions, G, E minor, C, D. Okay? Then you had some halftime entertainment. That is the C, the band, the C, the group, the super group called the C key. C, A minor, F, and G. Now halftime's over, the solo. Now you got 3 more verses. That is the A team. Not with Mr. T and George Picard. This is the A, F sharp minor, D, E. So now that we got those chords, let's knock out these last 3 verses, then we'll have the whole song. Remember when sound of little feet was the music. That verse, right? D, E, A, F sharp minor, D, E. Remember when? All right, verse 5. Remember when? 3rd, it seems so old. Yes, I do, Alan. Repeat. A, F sharp minor, D, E, A. Where we been? Said we'd do it all again. D, E. Remember when? Back to A, F sharp minor, D, E. One more verse and this is it. Remember when? F sharp minor. Said when we turn gray. E. Back to A with the children. F sharp minor. Grow up and move away. A. We're almost done with this song. F sharp minor. D, E, A, D, E. will remember when. And just kind of ends on that A. All right, so I know this is a long video, but hopefully what I showed you in here, you're gonna use a lot. And when somebody hollers out, all right, we're playing this song in the 1, 6, 4, 5 chord progression, and it's gonna be in the key of G, you'll know what that means. You'll count the letters, match those letters up to those numbers in the chord sequence, and you'll know how to play it. So hopefully this video has shown you what chord progressions are, how they work, and how they can change keys. You just substitute new chords depending on the key changes. But more than that, I just want you to learn how to play this song using the 1, 6, 4, 5 chord progression. It's a very simple song, six verses, so there's a lot of words if you're a singer. Want to know all the words. 6 verses. First 3 verses are in the key of G. The solo's in the key of C. The last 3 verses, 4, 5, and 6, verses 4, 5, and 6 are in the key of A. You're going to learn all kinds of chords if you learn this song, and you're going to learn how chord progressions work, and hopefully you can use that in all kinds of songs that you're learning and playing, and your musical ability is going to increase because you'll know chord progressions, and no matter what key you're going to play in, you can figure out those chords. So if you like this video, hit that like button. If you want to learn a bunch of country songs, I appreciate it if you subscribe to this YouTube channel and hit that notification bell so you can get all the latest guitar tutorials as soon as I publish them. If you have any requests, go ahead and leave them in the comments section below. I'll make sure I'll make a tutorial about it. What I want y'all to do is learn how to play these chords, these chord progressions, and these classic songs like this. And I want y'all to keep humming and strumming. Keep learning how to play this acoustic guitar so you can treat yourself and people around you to hours of fun. I'm Shane Thomas. Take care.